Thank you, Mr. Kundu. Now I will request Mr. Shishir Sinha to take up. You can speak from here itself.
Good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Kundu, Amitabh Kundu, for giving his presentation where all the statistics, data, everything was there. So instead of going at a national level, I think as Development Commissioner of Bihar, because Bihar has a unique system that you have one Chief Secretary and one Development Commissioner. All developmental activities and all the developmental departments, they are all under me. It is basically to ensure intersectoral cooperation. And I would start with the idea that all of you know that for the last 10 to 12 years, Bihar has been galloping. Bihar's economic growth is in double digit. Last year also we grew at about 10.32%. But what our Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Bihar is very keen is on inclusive growth, to ensure that whatever we are reaping in terms of economic growth should reach the last mile, reach the destitute, the ultra poor, and they should be the main beneficiary. As such, last 2 years back, our Chief Minister set up a Bihar Vikas Mission. Now we are working in a mission mode because what we found in Bihar was that first we had to sharpen our delivery system mechanism. There it was slightly rusty. Actually, the beneficiaries, the schemes are there. There's nothing wrong with the schemes. They have been well formulated. But what we found after visiting, the number of yatras, my Chief Minister along with us, we went and we lived in the villages, we interacted with really the ultra poor, and then we found out that actually what benefit they should have got, they were not getting. So the system had to put in place, it had to be ensured that all leakages are plugged, and that's why we came up with a mission mode administrative system, where we have a society headed by, that's called the Bihar Vikas Mission Society, which is headed by the Chief Minister. Then we have the submission, 7 submission, which includes all anti-poverty and all other programs. That's divided into 7 subgroups, and all those groups are headed by me, which I think on every month we review it. District magistrates, the block development officers, all the field functionaries, they are ranked as per their performance. And then we launched a mega project that's called Mukhyamantri Nishchay Yojana, the 7 resolves. Now, this 7 resolve, that includes, I think, it's multidimensional and includes the total human development index. If all these 7 resolves, which we are very confident that by 2019 it's going to be implemented in totality, every section of the society is going to benefit by that. I think Bihar will become one of the, instead of being a developing state, it will become a developed state. We may have slippages by a year or so, but then we are moving on, and I'll brief you on those 7 resolves. Now, those 7 resolves that include, number 1 is gender equality, 35% reservation in every government service everywhere for the ladies. That has already been implemented. And in the Panchayati Raj institution, it's 50%. You'll be very happy to know, as see in any conference, PRI conference, you will find 50% ladies will be definitely, it can be even more. It's about 53, 54%, because they are not debarred from contesting from the general seats. So that's one that has already been implemented. Number 2 is the second part is, human development index is every student who has cleared his 10th, he is free. Every district has a center that's called the DRCC. And once he gets enrolled, he has to undergo a course that is being done by the Maharashtra Knowledge Society, and that is for skill development. That skill development program, which is free, and then they have online examination that includes computer knowledge, that includes English, knowledge of English, communication, behavior. So that is what we are trying to make, that, okay, you are educated, but then you should be very confident to face the world. So that is part of the 7 resolve. In addition to those skill development, we have even for students who have cleared 12th standard, and if they are looking for any vocational training or something of that kind. Every block, every subdivision, every district is being provided with technical institutes. Like every district is going to be provided with an engineering college. Every subdivision is being provided with polytechnics, ITIs, and every Mahila ITI. And at the state level, about every district, of course not every district because there are 38 districts, but we are now going to have 19 medical colleges, paramedical institutes at subdivisional level, district level, nursing colleges. So in order to ensure that the Bihar's youth, they don't lack, if they have all the opportunity to get skilled. So this is the skilling part of it. Now, in addition, this was number 2. Number 3 is that every household in the state is being provided with running water, tap water. And there what we have done, it's inverted pyramid. We have started from the most marginalized section. Means the DMs, they have been given the target that first they have to cover the Musahar Tolas, the most deprived section or the most deprived panchayat is taken first, then the next year will be, say, a level above, then level 5, level 4, level 3, level 2, and finally the last year we are going to touch the haves are who are still enjoying all those fruits. In addition to that, the fourth resolve is that every household will have pakki gali nali, that is, means they'll have a paved road and they'll have drainage system. Now, the 5th resolve is that every household is being, that's of course Swachh Bharat, but in Bihar, because we had the maximum incidence of open defecation, so there also, now we have reached something like 50%, the coverage which is the lowest in the country. Only yesterday, the Honorable Prime Minister had a review with all my DMs in Bihar. It was for more than nearly an hour, and he'll be coming to Bihar on the 10th of April to review it, and that will be the Mahatma Gandhi Satyagraha movement centenary celebration is on. So that will be the last day of that centenary celebration. Then the 6th resolve is that every household is being provided by electricity. Free means connection is free. Of course, they'll have to pay something for that. So now once we cover all these 7 resolves, and we have started from level 5, level 4, and every day the monitoring is done at the mission level. We have employed technical staff, we have employed experts, giving them good salary, handsome salary, and every department, whichever has any problem, they are free to approach the Bihar Vikas mission, and they get the technical help, technical support. In this, I'll give you one of the best example, which I think even in US recently my team had gone there. That's Jivika. It's a World Bank program. Now, Jivika has come out as one of the best example of inclusive growth. In Bihar, Jivika, I'll tell you briefly about Jivika. Jivika means there are, as on date, there are about 8 lakh self-help groups of ladies. This was started by the World Bank, and that covers, and the total number of members are nearly 2 crores. So 2 crores will be about really 1/5 of the population. Every year we approximately add about 1 lakh groups. Every year we add 1 lakh groups and ensure, and these are self-help women groups. They are functioning so well that all anti-poverty program, it is a job of the Jivika, that's a society. They see to it that all members of Jivika, they have access to all the developmental programs in its true color, in its true form, without any deviation, without any leakage. And you have to go and see it in Bihar, how the Jivika is functioning. And even the World Bank is showcasing it throughout the world. Even in Washington, the team had gone to give a presentation. And that has really helped us in pulling out people, especially the marginalized section, from the poverty, not only improving the income level, but also the consumption level. And anyone who wants to visit Bihar, I also happen to be the chairman of the Jivika, and that has helped us in a big way to pull out people from poverty, and not only to pull out poverty, what Mr. Kundu was just now talking about, that they should have access to all the government programs. If you have come up with insurance program, health insurance program, or whether it is midday meal, whether it's school dropouts. Now, Bihar, of course, you will feel that we are still the 19th position or 25th position, but you have to understand that we have the highest incidence of poverty, we have the highest density of population, land is scarce, still about the urbanization level is only 11%. Majority of the people are still dependent upon agriculture. That's why in order to increase the agriculture income, we have, now this year the president had gone to Bihar and we have launched our third agriculture roadmap. Now under that's a rainbow revolution, and our aim is to double the farmer's income, because that is mandatory. If you have to reduce the incidence of poverty, the main source of income in the rural area is still agriculture and the allied activities. So that's what I've told you, that we are the last, but we are really galloping, and the system which we have put in out there is not only to ensure that there's reduction in poverty, but we have ensured that the reduction starts from the ultra poor. It starts from the most marginalized, and it's an inverted pyramid. So first they benefit. That's how all the schemes have been framed in such a manner that first it's not that normally what happens if you launch a program in the village or in a block or in a district, basically the haves, they only try to corner it, pocket it, and the have-nots, they are all left out, and they don't get the benefit, and they remain the marginalized, more susceptible to disaster, ill health, illiteracy, and every type of multidimensional poverty, what Mr. Kundu was talking about. So with these words, now I pass it on to Mr. Hiralal Samaria for his comments.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sinaji. I really thank the way he has presented. Really, Bihar, if they are doing well, if Bihar can do well, then I think the whole nation will come up automatically, because that is what most of us we feel in the administration, because UP and Bihar, they take the maximum toll for the poverty, and that is not a compliment, but no, if Bihar is doing well, then automatically other states, because they are much ahead, so Bihar and UP, yeah,
that's why I said that we have been asking Government of India, and even last time I asked Niti Aayog as well, that under that goal 10, first Bihar and UP, they should be given more help in monetary terms as well, whether special
no, exactly, but
or special
no,
package.
No, that is not correct, because everybody means God help them who help themselves. So first UP and Bihar should also learn how to help themselves also. That is
because goal 10 speaks of equality on that front, within intersectoral, that is regional equality. If you have more incidence of poverty, that's even when I was in labor long time back, when I had gone to Geneva, that's what I spoke, that if you take care of China and India, this was about 20 years back, at that time I was in Shamshakti Bhavat. So I said, you first take care of, instead of Senegal, you take care of India and China, have more focus, then, the ultimate international goal will be easier for you to achieve it.
Thank you,
rather than concentrating on Senegal and concentrating on Gabon. And I don't say that you don't concentrate on that. But India, China, at that time, most of the poverty was in these two countries.
Thank you, sir. Anyhow, if really means Bihar and UP, they could do well, naturally the whole country will be doing very well. That is what I feel, because I am from AP cadre, Telangana now. So we see the development other side, and what in previous they were talking about the SSGs. Actually, as Mr. Vijay Kumar was presenting a little bit, I'll take 1 minute for that. SSGs I have seen, because we started that movement of SSGs in Andhra Pradesh. At that time I was district collector Guntur. SSGs had done wonderfully well actually, and they are excellently well, I can say. And their repayment is 99%, and now all schemes, all government programs are through the SSG. So they are doing very well. Anyhow, but this topic for this session is about the social security. First, I would like to tell about what is happening in the country about the social security. We have approximately 45 crore workers with us, because Ministry of Labour, we have approximately 45 crore workers. Out of that, around 8% are in the organized sector. We define them in the two sectors, organized and unorganized. That is the informal sector. So organized sector is very less, means only 8%. And as Mr. Sinha was saying, everything who are the haves, they corner everything. The same thing in the worker side also. The organized sector, they take away the everything actually. They take the social security, they take the means minimum wages, they take the security of the job and everything what we see. Even our pay commissions, our wages, all things are being taken away by them. But with the unorganized sector, they are the totally means in a and means they are in a very bad situation, bad condition. They don't even get their minimum wages also. That is a fact of the life. Now, any worker who is working, he requires three things. First is the minimum wages, then second is the good environment of working, where he works, he should have a better working conditions, and third is the social security. And these are the minimum requirements of a person, a worker who works. So we have in our Ministry of Labor, we have 44 acts. Now these 44 acts also we are simplifying, we are rationalizing, we are amalgamating into, we are subsuming all these 44 acts into 4 codes. One is the wage code, that is what I told, the minimum wages, so that it will